Hello there, how's it going? My name is June, and in this video we will look at chapter 19 of the book Atomic Habits, the Goldilocks Rule. So let's begin. The chapter is very interesting. It should belong to the section Make It Attractive because it talks about human motivation, why some people stick to their habits while others don't. So let's read the first paragraph and see what it says. Why is it that some people stick with their habits, whether practicing jokes or playing piano? While most of us struggle to stay motivated, how do we design habits that pull us in rather than ones that fade away? Scientists have been studying this question for many years. While there is still much to learn, one of the most consistent findings is that the way to maintain motivation and achieve peak levels of desire is to work on tasks of just manageable difficulty. I really like this idea. As we will move and read more, we will learn more about what this idea means, just manageable difficulty. And the question is very interesting. Why some people stick with a habit while others don't? I think if I move back, hmm, I think it was this one. Yeah, this chapter also begins very similarly. Why is it so easy to repeat bad habits and so hard to form good ones? Few things can have more powerful impact on your life than improving your daily habits. Yet it is likely that this time this year you will be doing the same thing rather than something better. So he asked this the same question in one more chapter. Why some people stick with habits and others don't? In this one, he's talking about motivation. The idea of flow state. I actually gave this a heading. This section didn't have any heading. The Goldilocks rule states that humans experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on the edge of their current abilities. Not too hard, not too easy, just right. Hmm. He has given an example what it actually means, so let's read it out. The human brains love challenge, but only if it is within an optimal zone of difficulty. If you love tennis and try to play a serious match against a 4-year-old, you will quickly become bored. It's too easy. You will win every point. In contrast, if you play a professional tennis player, you will quickly lose. You will quickly lose motivation because the match is too difficult. Now consider playing tennis against someone who is your equal. As the game progresses, you win a few points and you lose a few. You have a good chance of winning, but only if you really try. Your focus narrows, distractions fade away, and you find yourself fully invested in the task at hand. This is a challenge of just manageable difficulty, and it is a prime example of the Goldilocks rule. Hmm. Well, while I like the passage, but I think there are some oversimplification. First of all, he's talking about two extreme levels, playing with a 4-year-old and a professional tennis level. This will never work for obvious reason, but even if you play with someone who is at your level but slightly more capable, I think you will still lose motivation, right? Because that person will beat you every time as well. To be to be to be to have the best level of motivation, I think the person has to be at exactly of your level. He has to be exactly at your level, neither too neither neither better than you or worse than you. I'm not talking about professional or a baby. That's just too extreme. Even if your friend plays better than you won't have much fun playing against him. I think this idea is very relevant in video games. Video games actually have something called a variable difficulty. The reason they are so addictive is that there is an algorithm that changes the difficulty as you are playing it. If you are losing a lot, the game will actually make it easy, and you won't know. Actually, you wouldn't know. You will feel like you are getting better. That's the reality. And if you are playing too good, the game will become harder just so that you never lose interest. And this idea is implemented in almost every popular game, and most and if you play online competitive multiplayer game, they match you against someone who is exactly at your level, so you never get bored. If you are a very bad player, you will play against other bad players. If you are a very good player, you will play against other good players. That's the exact idea of Goldilocks zone. Video game always give you a task that you can do. If you are the worst at the game will give you very easy tasks and you will enjoy them because they will be hard for you. Very powerful idea. So you could potentially make your life a video game. You just need to start making things easy, because when they are easy, objectively they will be easy, but for you they will be hard. For example, if someone doesn't work out, even lifting a 2 kilogram dumbbell, a 5 pound dumbbell will be hard for them, but they won't do it because it's embarrassing, right? But you need to make it easy, and when you make it easy, it will get in your Goldilocks zone, and that's where you will be motivated, and that's where you will start progressing towards success. And that's where what he talks about in this paragraph. When you are starting a new habit, it's important to keep the behavior as easy as possible. I cannot stress this enough. As easy as possible. He talks about just go to the gym. Go to the gym every day. Don't even work out. Go to the gym. As easy as possible so you can stick with it even when conditions aren't perfect. This is an idea we covered in detail while discussing the third law of behavior change. Once a habit has been established, however, it's important to continue to advance in small ways. These little improvements and new challenges keep you engaged. And if you hit the Goldilocks zone just right, you can achieve a flow state. Exactly. Exactly. The problem with habits is that although they will be too hard in the beginning, even if you make them easy, but after you repeat them, they will become easier and you might want to skip on them. So in order to keep them interesting, first, you need to make them easy. That's understood, but try to make them slightly harder each time. You see in video games, difficulty is adjusted for you under the hood, but in real life, you will have to actually tinker with your habit on your own. You will have to figure out what is too hard for you, what is too easy for you. Don't compare yourself with other people. Maybe running for 2 minutes is too hard for you. That's okay. Run for 1 minute. If that's harder, just run for 30 seconds. Start from an easy state and keep progressing toward improving your habit. So let's see what a flow state is. A flow state is the experience of being in the zone and fully immersed in an activity. So the flow state is simply an idea when you are fully engaged in your task. Scientists have tried to quantify this feeling. They found that to achieve a flow state, a task must be roughly 4% beyond your current ability. In real life, it's typically not feasible to quantify the difficulty of an action in this way, but the core idea of the Goldilocks rule remains. Working on challenges of just manageable difficulty, something on the perimeter of your ability, seems crucial for maintaining motivation. I can't stress this enough. Don't compare yourself to others, right? Never compare yourself to others. Let's say you are a student and you are just starting out, and let's say you are a bad student and you are building a habit on becoming a good student, a habit of studying. Don't Now the status quo would be studying 3 hours, 4 hours every day. Now that would be too much for you. Start easy. That would be your Goldilocks rule. That would be from where you will be most motivated. Let's start from 30 minutes a day. Be consistent. Consistency beats hard work every time, I would say, because those 30 minutes will actually build up. And you will also increase the number of minutes every day, because as we learned, neurons that fire together wire together. You will become a good student by being consistent. Well, anyways, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point. Let's finish the section. Improvement requires a delicate balance. You need to regularly search for challenges that push you to your edge while continuing to make enough progress to stay motivated. Behaviors need to remain novel in order for them to stay attractive and satisfying. Without variety, we get bored, and boredom is perhaps the greatest villain on the quest for self improvement. Very good idea. Boredom is perhaps the greatest villain on this quest of self improvement. People say it's failure, but seriously, if you think about it, you stop trying when you get bored. You don't stop trying when you fail. I would again compare life to a video game. If you lose a game multiple times, you won't stop playing it. You will only stop playing the game when it doesn't feel fun anymore. No matter how many times you lose, you will still play it because it's fun. In real life, if a task, if you fail, I think failure is an excuse to stop. Boredom is the real reason, and people don't want to admit that they get bored quickly, right? Anyways, the idea of flow state. I guess this is it for this video. In the next one, we will talk about how to stay focused when you get bored working on your goals. Spoiler alert, the idea is to still work whether you are bored because you can't control your emotions, but you can control your actions. So still you gotta work even if you're bored. Anyways, this is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.